Hey folks, Dave here. Yeah, and it's an Arctic chat type of night. We're back in the single digits again. Canceling hockey again in the morning. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about the uh, the weather here, but it's a real thing. It's been a miserable winter, and it's last week it was 0 degrees on Saturday, and I said, we'll play next week. Well, guess what? It's 0 degrees again this Saturday, back to back 0 degrees Saturday mornings. And I was at the rink this morning for the ice hockey league, and I didn't skate today. I just kind of ran it, and the guys were coming off the ice, shaking their hands, trying to get uh, the blood going to their fingers because they were so cold, and people were coming into the lobby between periods. It just miserable, miserable conditions, and that's inside the rink. That's how just cold it was outside. So I made the decision again to postpone the league tomorrow because I don't want to go. I'd have to be in it for 3 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours. I'd be standing in that cold. And then if I had to get dressed to referee, forget it. Nope. Nope. Sorry. So I can be on with you guys tonight and chat a little bit later. Hope everybody's doing okay. And I wanted to say congratulations. Hopefully I sound good. I didn't check my sound here, but hopefully everyone's doing good. Congratulations to Richard Rorig for winning the scoreboard in our giveaway here, and also to Ken Henshaw, who won the 55, 56, 49 Quick Decks hockey season. So, and again, thanks to Frank so much for donating that and sending that off to Ken. And thanks to Al Wilson for donating the scoreboard and the numbers. He's going to send the numbers over to Richard. So I will get the Richard, if you're watching, I will get that scoreboard out Monday. I got to work all weekend. I'm not working tomorrow morning, but I am working tomorrow night into the late night. And I don't think they'll ship Saturday. And actually, I'm working Monday too, but maybe I can get there Monday before I got to go up to New Hampshire. But I will get it out next week for sure, and we'll get it down to you or over to you wherever you are located, and you'll be able to use your scoreboard and have some fun with it. And then we got to work on the next giveaway. I have a lead on the next giveaway, so we'll have to check it out as Barbara comes by. Thanks for coming by, Barbara. I was looking for that game and I couldn't find out which one it was. I was looking at all the those little puzzle games I played, and I couldn't figure out which one it was. I'll have to go back when I have more time. Couple more nights, cold nights, and it's golf time. Yeah, I heard Texas get. What did I hear? Um, South Carolina might get a foot of snow on this snowstorm that's coming up. What Sunday? I think in 2 days, or it's tomorrow for them. That's nuts. South Carolina a foot of snow. That's nuts. We're scheduled to get like an inch, which is fine considering what we got last time. Uh, it could if it comes inward, we're going to get more, but if it stays out to sea, we'll be all right. But yeah, that's nuts. And it's just it's been just a crazy winter storm. We've had 5 good winters without any major issues. Now we have major issues. In fact, just up the street from me, I got a notification today from might even been like the local Fox News or the local ABC, and they said in my town there was some telephone poles that come over and wires were down, and it was like half mile away. I had no idea. Luckily, my power didn't go out, and because that's where I used to walk my dog, and I'm that like right where those poles were coming down, and I was like, wow, that's like right there, and I just had no idea. So they shut down the street. So I don't think I went out after I got home from the rink. I never went out again today, so I didn't see it. So and Mr. Cravens, good to see you. Haven't talked to you in a while. You know what I stumbled on the other day was my Dio tour book that you got me. I stumbled on that and I was flicking through that the other day. So I still have it and I still appreciate you sending it to me. And Montana, how David, how is Montana doing? I think of Montana being one of those big states up there that's really flat and it's just maybe no snow, but it's like just completely cold. It's like -10 right now. Because if I'm 7, you guys must be a lot colder than me. That's just kind of how I mean, unless that Arctic thing come down and went away from you, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm interested. in the weather around the place, around the country. Interested what you guys are playing. Some people had asked me about the wrestling, and I am going to get back to the wrestling. We're going to get the Filsinger on the table. I need to get my new wrestlers because I got my new wrestlers in that I unboxed a couple weeks ago, I think, and so I need to add them to the federation. Was it the D2D Federation? I think it was. And I went over my belts. I wrote them down. Hopefully, I didn't lose my belts. I wrote down my belts I was going to use. Obviously, you got to have the heavyweight champion, the top belt, and then the Intercontinental. Always loved Intercontinental. It was kind of kind of a consolation prize, the Intercontinental belt. It was like for the guys that weren't ready to tackle the top belt, but you wanted to give them some acknowledgement. So I always liked that one. I might have to do a hardcore belt. I got to look in some of the how to play some of those matches. They like the hardcore matches. That might be kind of fun. Obviously, we're going to have the Ken Maka belt for wrestlers I'm completely unfamiliar with, and we'll play and have a good time with those. And then, in honor of ST Patrick, we will have the Waffle House belt, and I'll come out with I'll have a special match for that. That's just great. The guy who sent me the wrestling, I really appreciate it because I'm loving this wrestling game, by the way. Thank you so much. It's there's so many in the book. There's so many other matches that you can do, and so I want to I want to come up with a hardcore. I don't know if it's going to be a hardcore match. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I got to figure out what I want to do with that. I'm trying to search my chats here for something here. I'm sorry, I'm just looking for something here. I'll back out of that so I don't tie you up here. But I was trying to look for something here. But so I want to come up with a crazy match for the Waffle House belt. I am going to do that. I'm going to have a good time with that. And Scott comes by as well. Good to see you, Scott. And Mr. Rogue comes by. Boy, you've been busy playing. I've been watching some of the stuff that you've been doing. Hey, Dave and Chat, getting into the 20s in Orlando tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, you're down in Florida? Yeah, it's yeah, you're gonna get some cold down there too. It's just been nuts, Mike's been playing the Fast Drive football, 1982, and some VSU football, WFL. Yeah, I should do that. Pull out the WFL. I am like real. Depends on how this year goes. I might get a hold of Chris White and get one of the WFL seasons for Apple football. Thing is, I don't know much about it. It would be more just kind of fun stuff there. That's why I think I have it in is it second season? I think I have it, and I also have it in one of the drive games. It might be game winning drive. So I should probably do that instead of going and spending all that money on the Apple football one because I don't know how much I'd play it with Apple football because I don't know anybody. But I would like to play those defunct teams. I really would. And a game like VSU would be perfect as Mr. Dufferman comes by. Good to see you. So anyway, let's see what else. Oh yeah, so as far as the wrestling goes, I am going to be getting that back on the channel. I just got to figure out how I want to play it because I was playing a little bit of basic and a little bit of advanced. So I just need to go and get it on the table again and like, okay, lock it down. So when I play, I know what I'm doing and I'm not lost because I was still kind of learning it. It's not difficult though. It's not difficult at all. It's just how do I want to play? Like payoff pitch. Which what I want to do here. So what I'm thinking is it's going to have to be afternoon or right after dinner because late at night like this, I would get loud and she would be banging on the floor telling me to shut up. I wouldn't blame her. Although she let the dog bark all day while I was trying to take a nap after work today. So maybe fair is fair. So yeah, if I do the wrestling, it won't be a late night thing. That's going to be either afternoon or early early evening or a weekend or something like that, not a weekend afternoon. So, but I will get the wrestling going here. I need to get back and get a couple more dark matches, as they say, so I can kind of figure out who I'm going to be. Like, I just want to pick random guys. I want to have some people wrestle and take some of the winners and play for certain belts, and maybe some of the losers over here. Oh, so you're in the Rockies over there? That's right. The Rockies like go from what Arizona to the North Pole, pretty much, right? So you're not. It's not a flat area. Okay. I just think of that about Montana. Like when you think of Montana, you think of like this huge, huge state, and it's just really flat. That's my impressions of it. I never been there, just when I've seen on YouTube. And yeah, he made some CFL teams. I'm the same way, Scott. How is CFL going to work with APA in that Canadian football? With the three downs and trying to figure out the rouge and some of the different punting there. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. Buy her from earplugs for Valentine's Day. Yeah, that'll go over well. She actually sleeps through everything. I gotta say, because I'll be here with my headphones on playing a game, and I'll hear the coyotes, and I'll take off the headphones and I'll run upstairs and I'll be hearing, and so then they'll end, and I'll say, "Do you hear that?" She's like, "Hear what?" I go, "Coyotes are right outside your window howling. I heard it with my headphones on." She's like, "No, never heard them." So she sleeps through everything. It's just good for her because I can't. I can't. If a cricket makes a sound, I wake up. If a cricket's down the street, I'm a light sleeper. That's why I try to crash during the day. It's the only time I get to sleep. Because at night everything wakes me up, and then the dog wakes me up in the afternoon. Ah, she was freezing today. Holy cow! The wife brought her to the rink this morning and had a little sweater on her. She was shivering, the poor thing. I'm like, even in the lobby. So they ended up leaving early. She's like, "It's too cold. We got to go." I says, "Yeah, I don't blame you. It is cold. It is cold out there." But so let's see, I got to see what time I got to leave tomorrow. I'm wondering if I could slip some wrestling on in the afternoon. Uh, okay, so I get 3 games tomorrow. Oh, ooh, I don't have to leave here till 2:30. I might be able to slip in some wrestling. I might be able to do that. So let me see. I might be able to do some wrestling before I go tomorrow if I can set it up and do it. I got to see how the morning goes. I got to make sure I pack some food with me because I'm going to be there again 8 hours at the cold rinks, and so they didn't have the snack bar open yesterday. So I'm glad I brought something to eat because nothing worse than being hungry then and the snack bar ain't open because there's no place to go. There's nothing really within driving distance, because you got what 15, 20 minutes, between games. And it's like I never have time to get out and back. And sometimes we tried the door dashing one time. We were there all day, and the guy goes, "I'm going to get a soup. You want a soup?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm freezing. Give me a hot soup." By the time it got there, it was lukewarm at best. You can't blame him. It's freezing out. It was delivered. What can you do? So I got the soup. It's like, yeah, yeah. It's like kind of like room temperature. It was. And Mick Foley's going up your way for a new federation. Interesting. I've been watching a lot of wrestling actually on YouTube. It's been coming up, and it's been like behind the scenes stuff, and times they broke character and things like that. And it's been kind of fun. It's been fun watching the wrestling. Wrestling is just it's just fun for me, especially the classic guys. Like all the new guys now. I mean, every one of them is ripped. Back in the day, everybody just had a beer belly and wrestled, and that's what it was. Now, don't they were strong and they could do some things, but they couldn't do the stuff that they're doing now. It was a very different wrestling league back then. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but the athletes now they're ripped and they're making a lot of money. Back in the day, these guys probably did it for part-time work and just it was so different. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it back then. I thought the heyday for me was late '90s because we were still watching it. We were actually going to some shows here on the East Coast and enjoyed it very much. Stone Cold was there, and The Rock and Mankind and DX was wrestling, and so we saw a lot of those guys, that wrestled. Hardcore Holly, I remember was doing that. Al Snow, Gold Dust. I don't know if we saw The Undertaker or not. I'm not sure if we saw The Undertaker or not. But that's what we watched. There's some good times watching that stuff there. We got the pay-per-views. We watched the pay-per-views. That was a fun thing there. And then as a kid, in the 70s and 80s with Sergeant Slaughter and the Iron Sheik and Pedro Morales and Tony Garea, Rick Martel, Fuji Saito, the Samoans. I mean, we watched all that stuff. And they tried to do some good storylines, nothing like they're doing now, but the storylines are great. But now you get the ladder matches and the cage matches. Oh, they're just nuts right now. Um, but that's what it is. Uh, hasn't been the same since Backlund lost to the Sheik. Yeah, Backlund. That was the thing. Backlund had it forever, and I was just like, "Oh, enough, Backlund. He's boring. He's the boringest champ ever." And he kept winning. Then you'd read in the paper, because that's no internet back in the day, so it's like, you heard either on TV that they're going to be at Madison Square Garden, so you're reading in the paper, and sometimes you get the results. Tell you the results, and he never lost. I remember that. I don't know if it was the Boston Garden matches or whatever matches, but remember you get the wrestling results on the sports page. You know, Sunday morning or Monday morning, whenever they would have the wrestling event the night before, I'd be like, yeah, Mr. Fuji defeats, Chief J Strongbow, and it would give you the results. It was kind of neat. It was very enjoyable, very enjoyable. Mike says playing WFL is like playing fictional. I only know a few players, so performance expectations are low. Yes, exactly. When you play, like sometimes even when I play WHA, I don't know anybody. I know some of the guys because they played NHL, but yeah, the WFL, I might know who are the guys. Was it Zonka come over from Miami to play in the WFL? That's probably the only guy I would know. I mean, there's probably a few more, but yeah. So that's why I don't know if I want to spend the money on that because it intrigues me, but I don't know how much of it I would play. I did get it on Action PC. I did play Action PC one time, and how funny it was. The two teams I picked were the two teams that didn't finish the season, so that was kind of fun. But I would play a drive by drive. Let me look at something here. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Let me check here. Uh, does Al Wilson have WFL? Let me see. He's got USFL, XFL. I don't know if he's got the World Football League. If he does, I might. Let me see. Yes, he does. He's got 74. 74 WFL. Philadelphia Bell, Portland Storm, the Hawaiians, Detroit Wheels. Oh, they actually finished 1-13. They finished the season. There was a couple teams, or maybe it was the next year they didn't finish. I don't know if he's got 75. 74 WFL. Does he have 75? I don't know. That's the older stuff though. I might have maybe that would be fun to play it in Fast Drive Football. Let me see, Al. I'm going to your site right now to see if you have it. FastDriveFootball.com. 3D6 Gaming Store. Football Pro Seasons. Let's go. How I can sort by alphabetical. There we go. He's got the 74 WFL season. Yeah, so he doesn't have 75. Wasn't that 2 seasons, 74, 75 for the WFL? So yeah, so I do have that season there. That might be fun. Might be fun. That maybe I can do it that way, and then if I get into it, then I can, move up and play some second season with it, or I could play, maybe get the set for the APA. See back in the chat, some roads is coming by here, and the crew fan. Good to see you, Mr. Crew fan. No, was that the chicken wing from Backlund? Yeah, boring, boring. I did watch the end of the match, um, with the Sheik and Hulk Hogan with the camel clutch. I did, and he's like shaking out of it and come out of it. I did watch that on YouTube. I was watching a couple of matches, not full matches, but the end of them. And yeah, you did see the results in the paper, didn't you? I mean, don't ask me why I remember that, but and Larry comes by. Hi, Larry. Let's see. Crew fan living in Queens. He loves seeing the MSG results in the paper. Yeah, that was back now. There probably there's really no papers anymore, and you get the results instantaneously. It's a bigger deal now too. Well, it's funny. Some of the videos I was watching was like the Rumbles, the Royal Rumbles. I haven't watched them in years, and people that got booted out early by accident. Like they were supposed to be in there for a while longer because they know who's going in and who's going out, and it's all scripted to who leaves first. And one guy, I think it was Stone Cold. Somebody had baby oil on, and when he went over the ropes, when he went to grab the ropes, he slipped because of the baby oil, and he landed. He was disqualified. And so he actually went over and he warned one of the other guys. He says, "Hey, be careful. It's baby oil all over these ropes. So if you're not supposed to go out next, don't be grabbing the ropes." So that was kind of fun to see. Uh, I don't know why you'd want to put on baby oil, because if someone goes to pick you up and they can't grip you, and you're sliding and they go to slam you, you're gonna fall on your head. I don't know why you'd want to put the baby oil on. They said that Andre the Giant hated that. He didn't like Macho Man, because Macho Man did the baby oil, and he said he hated it. Let me see over here. And Rogue went to WrestleMania 2 in Chicago. Interesting. 20-man battle royal with Andre. Refrigerator Perry. Yeah. And Crew fan was at WrestleMania 2 in Long Island. Fantastic. When is the first Maka title match coming? Yeah, I need to figure that out. I do. I've been kind of busy with work trying to organize my leagues. They're kind of a mess right now with the cold and dealing with it. And then I just been a little bit lazy with the cold myself. I was talking to the wife today. Says, well, why is it that I just have no motivation now? I'm not going to the gym. I'm not walking. I'm just, and she's like, because it's been a bad winter and it's seasonal depression. And it's cold and you don't want to do anything. It's like, that's good enough for me. It's just, it's been so cold. It's like I used to jump in the car and get on the gym, but not when it's 0. Just no way. But I will be getting some wrestling on the table here. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll bang out a couple matches tomorrow, and before I go, we'll see how it goes. It might be morning or early afternoon, because I do have to get on the road and plan my day tomorrow up there at the rink. It's always a good time though. And yeah, Mike, the Phil Singer one wrestling game is very easy. In fact, the basic mode is like extremely basic. You don't got to do much at all. And even the advanced mode is not that much different. There's a couple of extra things you can do. But the idea with those games is just play them your way. The Phil Singer games, play them your way. That's what it comes down to. Um, Another fun wrestling memory. The sportscaster would run short highlights of the MSG cards. Oh, I think I remember seeing a couple of highlights on the news. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 75 was a homebrew. Oh, where can I find that? That's one I'd like to play, because that's the one the teams are folding. Mike, if you know where I can find that, point me in the right direction if you could. And yeah, try the starter set. Yeah, get the it's you get like, I don't know, 20 or 25 guys in the starter set, and there's some classic people in there with the rules and stuff. It's just fun. It's stupid fun. Hey, Rowdy, good to see you. Thanks for coming by again. Oh, I sent off my notes to Dana. I put them in the Discord there, talking about the payoff pitch that we did tonight. Take a look at that. There's a couple of screwy things on there, so I want to make sure he sees that. But there's a couple of suggestions I had. And the Tim Man, can you do the battle royal? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can. There's different ways to do it. but yeah, there's rules on how to do it. You can really do whatever you want. It is really a wrestling sandbox. And not that I want to turn this into a wrestling show, but since we're talking about it, yeah, all you need to do is just have it's like Burger King, have it your way. And there's some guidelines for for some of the different matches and some of the other things. There's guidelines on, hey, this is how I would do it, but it's ultimately it's up to you. I think the rumbles take longer because I think you roll to see who's fighting who is what it is. So you'd roll a couple of dice to figure out what wrestler's going after what wrestler and how they're going to get tossed out. It looked interesting. I will definitely have one of those. I did have a tag team match the other night when I had Dave Little on, so I'm getting a little bit better at the game. But the thing is, it's fictional. It kind of is, if you think about it, because you hate to say it this way, but it's fixed. you, they're putting on a show, and very rarely is it, how do I say this kindly? It's it's not the better team wins. It's what the script says, much like the NFL. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, but if Hulk Hogan's supposed to win, he's going to win, and nothing changes that. It's not like regular sports. So I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can have outside interference. Um, you can have the managers get involved. You can have stuff happen before the match. It is really well done and simple. There's just a chart for everything. One of the charts, if you want to roll like while the guy's giving an interview before the match, maybe he gets attacked. And he might start off and get pinned right away. I mean, everything is possible in this. It's just your imagination can run wild. It's really, really fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying it very much. The time I played with it, the one I remember. As Scott talks about Cena, I didn't watch too much of the Cena stuff. Oh yeah, Crew Fan is our resident um, Phil Singer wrestling guy. 86 Macho Man George Animal Steel was the main event. Nice. Yes, we have the Waffle House belt. Yep. What I need to do, it's getting cold for you down in Jersey. Yeah, it is cold. It is fun. It is easy. Though I will warn you though, the website is weird. Trying to find things and navigate on the website is not easy. But if you can figure out how to add the starter kit, get the color starter kit too, because they have black. That's the other thing. They have black and white cards, which are older, and then they have the newer cards with the color. And sometimes it's hard to figure out what is what. It's very weirdly designed website, and you don't exactly know what you're getting sometimes. So you just got to take your time and muck your way through it. But the starter set would be the way to go. I mean, the shipping's not expensive on some of that. So I mean, you might as well pick a couple of sets. I was real lucky. The person that sent me the game sent me 3 sets, and it turns out those are the 3 sets I would have bought. So he just happened to read my mind when he goes, "I got the game. I'm not playing it. Here you go." He sent it to me, and like, holy cow, this is everybody I would get. So, but I did buy 2 extra sets so I could have a few more people, and I did want to support the company because the game was gifted to me. And but yeah, it's so I will have the Waffle House Championship. I got to figure out a fun match for that though. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I don't want it to be a straight match. I want it to kind of be a different one, you know. Uh, the Maka title, that'll just be unknowns, so that's straightforward. International, straightforward. Heavyweight, straightforward. But I'll go find an unusual champion. It's like an unusual type of match that we can try to play and have some fun with. Maybe like a no disqualification. But that's the other thing that in my federation, if you get disqualified, that is considered a good loss and a good win, and titles will change hands, because that's the one thing that bugged me as a kid is when someone got disqualified and the belt could not go over on disqualification. So the bad guy would be outside the ring getting disqualified, and it's like, and he retained the championship. It's like, so he could just get disqualified every single time and never give up the title. He could have it forever. Just refuse to fight, right? I always thought that was a little cheesy. So in my federation, a win's a win, a loss is a loss. So you cannot hang on unless it's a a special match where there's no disqualification. So I mean, and that's the fun of it. You can do so many things with this. It's just wide open. Play it your way. I like how you can have the referees. There's different referees. You can even create your own referee, and that can change how some of the things work. So I did that. I brought in that referee that counts quickly. So I added a couple to the pin numbers, things like that. Again, it's stupid fun. And again, it is kind of fictional because you really can't do anything wrong with it because it's wrestling. Let's see, back to the chat room here. And Crew Fan says he plays it a couple times a week. I need to play it more. I do. Alan. What do you say, Alan? I've been using PC Action Baseball. I can't find how to mark a foul out. And also, can you save the game in the middle of a game and finish it later? Yes, with Action PC, yeah, it's as soon as you X out, it saves it, or it's supposed to. So you can always go back and resume the game. I think you can actually start over too, but I think you go back and resume it. And as far as marking a foul out, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is that through the manual entry? That's what I'm kind of wondering if you're playing there. Yes, I've been talking to ST, and we're going to get him on. I'm going to get the game. I'm going to print out what I need, and he's going to come on, and he's going to show me how to play it. From what he's been telling me, though, it's very different than the Filsinger one because you're looking at a federation or a territory, and that's what you're controlling. So it's like the Filsinger, it's really keyed in on the one-on-one matches there. His is more of a broader game from what I'm understanding. You still have the matches going on, but it's really it's supposed to be a more of a top-down view than you are kind of getting one-on-one wrestling. At least that's kind of how he described it to me. And Enzo comes by, wrestling games are a fictional version of a fictional event. Yeah, but they take a beating though. The bodies are taking the beating. It's kind of like if you played a football game, but they said, okay, this team's going to win and this team's going to lose, but you're still hitting each other. Oh, how do I explain Stan the Man? Whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about it. So if you're just here to give me crap, I don't know. Okay. Fictional meaning that it's decided who wins. That's what it means. And there's storylines. It's a soap opera, and that's what they bill it as. It's an entertainment. But it's not like going to a hockey game or a baseball game or a basketball game and seeing who wins, because it's the best team out there. It's been decided who's going to win. You like the pennants? Yeah, I changed up the pennants tonight. I kept the nets though. I just got the nets in the mail a couple weeks ago, so I just put that up there. Since I started to play some more basketball here, so I wanted to get some basketball up there. And I just go on eBay and I find, whatever I can find for $5 or $10, and then it's like another $5 or $10 to ship it, and I get a new one every now and then. I got my one over here, the Columbus Clippers. I think that's a baseball minor league team. When I ordered this, I got a 5-pack in, and they were relatively inexpensive. I got 2 or 3 minor league teams. I'm like, okay, I'll put them up. I really don't know who the Columbus Clippers are, but I used to know all the minor league teams because I worked at a shop that made the printing plates, and so we'd get the Harrisburg Senators and all the Chattanooga Lookouts. I can still remember some of the teams. And so we do some of the minor because they would print the baseball bats, the little baseball bats with a pen. That's what they would print, a foreign object, Matt. That's an idea. Hung over the ring as a waffle maker. Climbed to the ladder to get it, but I kind of like the foreign object. Who was it? I was wrestling. One of the things I was wrestling, was there was a possible disqualification for foreign object. So you pull out the foreign object. and you roll the dice, and there's a chance of being disqualified. But if you're not disqualified, then you get a chance to pin the other guy. Everything's in this game. It really is. Scotty 2 Hotty was great. I love Scotty 2. Oh no, the worm! Who was the guy there? The King Lawler? Oh no, Scotty 2 Hotty's the worm. I still love it. That was great. Those guys are good. And Michael comes. Yeah, Michael. It is dastardly cold. Dastardly cold. Oh, yeah. Crewfan says the old DQ saves the title rule. I hated that one too. Oh man, speaking of the waffle man. All righty. Yeah, and so he says the Waffle House Championship has to be decided in a match that can have frying pans and spatulas. Well, hang on a sec here. Hang on, let me grab this. Hang on. So, just to give you an idea, so this is the Ringside Companion Volume 1 that was also sent to me. Okay, so here's some of the matches that we can do. We have the alley fight, and what it does is just kind of tells you, how to make some changes in the match to pretend it's an alley fight match. The barbed wire baseball bat. I don't know. Barbed wire cage match. I don't know about that. I don't want it to be too gory. I don't even see. That was beyond me. I don't remember that. Yes, we're gonna hit the squared circle on here. It is different. That's what I heard. It's very different. So, we're gonna get that on here and play that at some point too. You can play ST's games as matches, but it's better with storylines and an ongoing federation. That's what he was saying. Is that we're looking at a top down view of a bigger area rather than just a couple of guys on the mat. Syrup up to the eyes. Yeah. Oh, the syrup in the eyes. Tabs of butter flying in the air. Yeah. So Alan says the manual entry, it has fly out and you can't find foul out. Maybe when it's old. I haven't used a manual entry in a while. I did use it once or twice. It seemed to work pretty well. There must be a checkbox or something. See if it. I bet it says FO. Okay, so if you go to pop out third base, I bet it says FO for foul out. I bet you that's one of the options on that. I bet you. Yeah, we got some good ones here, Tim. We're gonna have a good time here. Yeah, the Waffle House matches are getting wild. Yep. John, never thought I heard Chattanooga. You were born there? Yeah, the Chattanooga Lookouts, I think they were. Right? Am I wrong? Was that the baseball team out there? And of course, the Portland Sea Dogs. But there was a whole bunch of minor league teams and minor league hockey teams too. I think we did. No, but it was mostly baseball though. What were some of the other ones? Oh man, the Lookouts had the two eyeballs though. That was kind of a neat logo that they had. I can't remember some of the other minor leagues. This is in the 90s, like early 90s, so it was a long time ago. Let me see here. Back in the chat. Okay, so I have a battle royal. So it does have a battle royal here. The goal is to survive this free for all and be the only one left in the ring. A brass knuckles match. Ooh, brass knuckles match. Use Texas death match rules. All punch moves such as fist to the head and forearm punch become level 3 moves. For example, fist to the head 1 becomes fist to the head 3 in a brass knuckle match. Oh, I don't even think they do that anymore. It was the Chattanooga Lookouts. Okay. The Rochester Americans. That's hockey. In fact, my buddy just moved it. The Rochester Americans have been around a long time. Like they might even been around in the 60s. That's how long the Rochester Americans have been around. But a brass knuckle match. All level 3 punches become add 1 moves. So a wrestler loses his pin rating, gets up to 10, assuming he loses via knockout. This is something unbelievable. The chain match, coal miner's glove match. What's a spinal tap? you know? Let's see. I almost wore my pilot's hat there, Doug, tonight. Yeah, they've been putting up a lot of highlights. Somebody in Boston's been putting up a lot of highlights, like from the archives. A lot of hockey, a lot of baseball, even basketball. Climb the pole. 56 for Rochester. Yeah, I knew it was they were around for a while. Coffin match. I didn't really use Texas death match rules, so I guess I'll have to read on the Texas death match. Dog collar match. Falls count anywhere match. Oh, that might be a good one. Use Texas death match rules, huh? When a wrestler is thrown out of the ring or leaves the ring, roll on the chart below. So this, yeah, just kind of add some different charts in here. The first blood match, gauntlet battle royal, I quit match. The ladder match, attacking with the ladder chart. Loser leaves town match. Loser leaves Waffle House match. The loser of this match is banished from the promotion for an agreed upon period of time. Loser throws in the towel match. The lumberjack match. Is that like the lumberjack slam from Denny's? Oh, Texas deathmatch rules. No managers, no distractor ratings. Outside interference may be tried twice by both wrestlers. When a wrestler is thrown out of the ring, assume he's thrown towards an enemy or group of enemies. Roll on the enemy's side chart. So that's something else. That's something else. Crew fan said Vikings Raiders from 77 the other night. Yeah, we could do the Junkyard Dog Collar match. I was watching on YouTube. It was Baltimore Pittsburgh playoff game, 76 playoff game. And Baltimore kicked off, and Pittsburgh fumbled, but they got the ball. In 3rd and long, and Bradshaw threw a bomb, 72 yards, touchdown, 6-0. And Roy Drella goes in and misses the extra point. I can hit an extra point. Really, I've gone down the football field and I can kick an extra point. I can hit from 30, but that's it. I can't hit any more than 30. At least when I was younger, I could. I get no leg strength. But an extra point, come on. It's just you're on the Pittsburgh Steelers, you can't hit an extra point. Come on. And that was in the playoffs too. Okay, so we have the out of the ring enemy chart here. Penalty box match. Ooh. A penalty box is placed at ringside. That's the thing, a penalty box match. Typically, there's a second referee assigned to this match to catch all the action. Whenever a wrestler, manager, or other ringside out is caught by a referee committing an illegal action, rather than being disqualified, the person is forced into the penalty box. This has potential. Just as in a hockey game. Imagine having a wrestling book and you read something about hockey in here. That's pretty good. This gives the other team a man advantage for a time period. The match ends by pinfall submission. A penalty box match. That's interesting. A Singapore cane match. You get the Singapore cane. Steel cage match. Stretcher match. Oh, boy. Table match. Tag team match. Oh, here's the Texas death match here. So ignore disqualification and count out instructions. Substitute down 3 when necessary. Ringside allies are not usually allowed. Double the length of time or injuries. In the standard version, the promoter's goal is to have the match that doesn't end in disqualification and count out. Yeah, the loser picks up the tab match. That's interesting. Let's see. And then we have the Champions of the Galaxy matches. Those are kind of wild. The Brimstone Burning match. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one there. The Centropolis Street Fight. I don't know if I could use this with the regular wrestlers, or if I would have to use it with the that other collection. 4 weapons of destruction match. Guitar stick match. The hunter's prey match. Lava pit match. Oh, this is interesting here. The match is fought in a large lava pit on Primus. The lava pit is cooled down, but not totally. The pit wall is sloped. Let's see. Use a lava pit chart. I don't know about the lava pit. But there's all kinds of things here. The nightmare match. The outlaw fight club match. That might be a Sam's brawl match. Steel cage match. Yeah, we know that one there. Torture chamber match. Tonal anarchy match. Oh, these are all for the champions of the galaxy. Walk the plank match. And then we have some special charts. I like that special chart. You have the commissioner charts. Oh, title shots. Oh, I could use that. The title shots. So I could roll the dice to see what it's going to be. The unfair commissioner, the guest referee, the hurt referee. Again, there's so many things in here just to make to have it your way. The torture chamber match. I know. Maybe the torture would be eating at Waffle House. Like the loser has to eat a full meal at Waffle House. That's what it could be. And then you roll on the injury chart, right? Because their stomach could be all upset. Maybe. Yeah, the AHL Rochester Americans. Yep. I was looking at gimmick matches, yeah. Because we got to have the Waffle House champion. And it's got to be something interesting. Let's see. Yeah, the loser has to eat the food. Yep, I like that too. Fenner comes by. Good to see you, Fenner. I'm just kind of reading the chat right here. One of the great aspects of the squared circle is organizing all the wrestlers for the federation that time period. I think that's where the fun for that comes in. I haven't played it, but it sounds like you're not too concerned with the individual matches as you are the overall federation. Attention all planets of the Solar Federation. I should call it the Solar Federation, shouldn't I? That's what I should do. Yeah, pure wrestling is just pure fun. Yeah. I could go for Waffle House right now too. Like the penalty box match starring Ty Domi. An injury shot would be hilarious. Yeah. Loser eats at Denny's. God, come on. No, there's nothing wrong with Denny's. I worked at Denny's. I made good food at Denny's. I used to like Denny's. They had great hash browns back in the day. The biscuits and gravy was so good. The Denny burgers were good. Some the food. I thought the food was good there. Sean's getting a few laughs out of this. That's what we're here for. We're here for on a cold night here, as the temperature keeps dropping here. It's after midnight. Let's go to Waffle House. I don't even know if there's one close to me here. I don't know if there's one in Massachusetts or not. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, get the griddle out. Yeah, my brother, right, years ago got one of those Blackstone grills, and just that flat surface there. And he was going nuts with that. We used to have breakfast parties, like in the summertime. He'd like, come on over for breakfast. And he does have, the bacon cooking and the hash browns on there. Because he worked as a chef for many years and he was damn good at it. And he would get the grill out and we would, go over there and just, have margaritas or whatever back in the day. And he'd be flipping eggs and cooking the toast and he had that grill going crazy. Like so many breakfasts we had over there. It was kind of neat. I thought about getting one because I see the videos on YouTube and stuff, and you get the flat grill and you're cooking the omelets on it. It's just so much better than in a pan. It's just so much better. And but we just never have anybody over, so I would have it just for me. And it was kind of expensive, I remember, but he got a lot of miles out of that. He was cooking every night on that thing, and Fenner's trying to starting to print out baseline basketball. That's a fun game. I need to get back to my OBA. That was a good time. Oh yeah, we're talking hash browns, Todd. I know. We went out to breakfast the other day, and I was dying for hash browns and over easy eggs, and we don't have hash browns here. And so let's just go up the street. So she got back from the doctor or whatever it was, and we went up, and so I got my over easy eggs on my hash browns, and actually they were home fries. They weren't like I think hash browns is those shredded things. That's hash browns. Home fries are more like the little blobs of potatoes there. So that's what they had, but they cooked them good. So I just kind of mixed them up in the yolks. I was like, oh, that was so good. Brought a couple of home. I was like, oh, yeah, that was a good time. I just you have that, you just gotta have hash browns once in a while. Oh, home fries once in a while. You must have went to the wrong Denny's. I cooked good food when I worked there. I was very proud of myself. Yeah, the Rochester Americans are American Hockey League team, and they've been around for a long time, longer than me. I used to like working at Denny's. I used to work overnight, and I used to like cooking everything there. Just you know the eggs and the bacon and the hash browns. So you had the big grill with you threw the hash browns and the bacon and everything. Just let them sit there forever because it took forever to cook, and then you just kind of put in the toast. When the toast was done, flip the eggs, and everything goes on the plate. It was pretty good. And the biscuits and gravy were good. I could never make that gravy though. I always burnt it, and it always tasted burnt, so I had to remake it. And we had one kid that could just make that like blindfolded. Like, how are you making this without burning it? Like, I don't know. I just do it. But I enjoyed that stuff there. And Gary comes by. Good morning, he says. Oh, it must be morning. I guess it technically is morning here. Although I don't consider morning till I wake up in the morning, even though it's like after midnight here. Oh, let's see here. What do you got there? Some roads. You're an eggs Benny guy. The true measure of a diner is a club sandwich and the eggs Benedict. This place that we go to up the street here, they have a fantastic cheeseburger club. I get it on sourdough. That's one thing I at Denny's I hated to make was the club sandwiches because there wasn't enough. The bread wasn't big enough to cut in quarters and then keep it all together. It just kept falling apart. Even with the toothpicks, it fell apart. And so I used to get frustrated with the club sandwiches there. So when I go out, I get them because I like them. And this place, fantastic club sandwiches, cut in quarters with the fries on them. So their clubs are fantastic. So yeah, we go up there all the time. We go up there, either once a week or once every 10 days. Yeah, everyone's complimenting me on that Rochester Americans pennant. I got a theme up there, boy. It's like the red, white, and blue theme up here. I was looking for a Seattle pennant. I thought I had a Seattle pennant, but I guess I don't. And oh yeah, they got some good corned beef hash there too. Now I'm getting hungry. The corned beef hash is always really good. Yeah, fries, potatoes are my weakness too. Bread and butter and potatoes, two things I should not be having are my extreme weaknesses because just dislike them. I like my French fries. I like my hash browns. And when I go out to eat, and have places that got bread and butter. I don't have a lot of bread and butter at the house, but when I go out, I do. I just it's just so good. It's so good. Um, oh yeah, the corned beef. Yeah, corned beef hash though. As we turn this into a food channel, PJ's going to be jumping on pretty soon. Um, Corned beef hash is one of those things that I find I'm very finicky about because we go to some places and we'll try to corned beef hash different. So this place here does really good corned beef hash. Not too salty compared to some other ones. It's just got a good taste to it. And then we go to some other places that have voted best corned beef hash in the world, or at least this side of Colorado, and it's like oh, not my kind. They put things in it that I just don't care for. I just want a nice simple corned beef hash. And so it's just funny, like depending where you go, it's got a different taste, and sometimes the award-winning stuff just doesn't work for me, and I like the stuff that I'm used to. Yes, oh yes, corned beef and hash is so nice. Yeah. Oh, everyone's under the corned beef here. Once in a while, she'll make a corned beef meal. Her mom used to make it when she was living over here, and she would like for St. Patrick's Day, she'd get the corned beef and cabbage. I was like, oh man, that was because she would like cook it in the water, and it'd be so moist. It was really good. That corned beef was good too, but the hash is pretty good. Fenner remembers the Huddle House. I don't know the Huddle House. That's one thing I'm not sure about, the Huddle House. I don't know if I've ever been to a Bob Evans. If I have, it's been a long time because I haven't been on the road in a while, but every now and then I remember seeing those on the road. Nothing like corned beef and hash with eggs after a long mid-watch on a Navy submarine. I suppose anything would be good after a long mid-watch. But yes, corned beef and hash with eggs. Yes, good stuff there. And, yeah, I'm too. I'm not supposed to eat them. I get yelled at when I go to the doctor, and it's like, well, sorry, I need to live a little bit. And oh, Marlon is a sausage, biscuit, and gravy guy. Every now and then I get that. There's a place up here. I think it's called the Reds, and I got it there one day, and it was okay. It was just okay. Is just would I get it again? Maybe, maybe. What I used to like the Denny's one. So you'd make the gravy, and then you would have the sausage. You cut up the sausage links, and so they look like M&Ms actually. When you get done cutting them, the sausages were the size of an M&M, right? And so you would get, the gravy on the biscuits and sausages you would drape over. It was kind of great. A lot of places nowadays, instead of doing it that way, it's like a crumbled sausage. So the sausage is mixed in with the gravy, and it's crumbled. It's almost like a grated Parmesan cheese in there. So you don't get those little bits of sausages. They're all kind of, and sometimes I don't like that. Let's see. Oh, I know. If you were hungry, the show would be tough to watch. I know. I'm hungry too. I just had a little bit of tuna sandwich here. Well, 3 hours ago. I was gonna say just a minute ago. It's been 3 hours. I think it was 9:30. I had that. Pancakes or waffles? I'm a pancake guy all day long. In fact, that's what we do. And Summer was going to go the waffles route. We go up there, I always get a couple of pancakes, and I always take them home because I can't make pancakes at the house. And they get the whipped butter. Oh my gosh, the whipped butter! I could like just like just give me a big tub of whipped butter and every spoon. It is so good. It's so different than regular butter. I like it. It's probably worse for you. That's why. Once I find a good corned beef hash and eggs place, I stick with it. There are definitely variants of the hash, and I'm pretty particular. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm particular too. Again, sometimes you go to these places, and there's been some places. We try to try the corned beef hash when we go out. It's like, yep, nope. It's like we each take a bite. It's like, nope, it ain't gonna work. You know, Barbara's a crepes person. She likes her crepes. Oh boy. All right. So Sean says, I love my hockey. I says I was a goalie. What's the most shots I ever faced in a game? Our junior B goalie faced 60 shots, 2 games in a row, both losses. They're now 0-39. When I was 16 or 17 or 18, I think it was one of the three, and I was playing on a local team. We were terrible. We never won either. And somebody brought their girlfriend to the game, and she counted shots, and she counted 50. Don't know how accurate that is, but you know, we were losing every week, 6, 7, 8, nothing. No, we were terrible. And and he says, I brought my girlfriend. I want to keep shots to see how many shots you actually face. And I did. I one night it was 50. So aside from that, I didn't really count because I only played a handful of games in high school. And then beer leagues, they don't do that stuff. Fairness says, his brother has a Shoney's down in South Carolina. Gets a breakfast buffet. Yeah, see that? I haven't been to a buffet in a long time. COVID shut down a lot of the buffets up here. There's really, I don't even know if there's a buffet around here. Now, we tried not to go to the buffets because we're trying not to overeat. We're failing miserably at that, but we're trying to. And when you go to the buffets, you tend to overeat. Like she doesn't eat much at all. She goes out, she has like 3 bites and takes the rest of it home. And me, 'cause when I go out, that's what I'm going out for. But there was a Chinese buffet we went to for years, and they shut down. And then a lot of the restaurants that have buffets, they get rid of those too. 'Cause I think COVID really killed the buffet, at least up here. I don't even know the last buffet I went to. because we're trying not to do that. So it might have been 4 or 5 years ago. Let's see here. You can do Bob Evans if I come to Canton. I'm hoping to get to Canton, Todd. It's it's a wait and see. There's a lot of things. Although I might be boycotting the Hall of Fame. They want to try to tuck it to Belichick. Say what you will about him. He's got numbers to prove it. And if they're going to play games with him just to teach him a lesson, is that what the Hall of Fame's about? Is that what you're using your vote for? To teach lessons? Grow up. Grow up. Give your vote to an adult. Okay. So I might not. I might go, but I won't go to the Hall of Fame. I'll just sit outside, play my games. I might. Let's see. Rogue. Have I seen series Monarch Legacy of Monsters? Yes, I have. Yeah. In fact, that's one of the reasons I got Apple TV. Is I got 3 months for free with some coupon I found. So I watched that. We end up watching 4 or 5 different series on Apple TV. It's a very different set of series there compared to like Netflix and Amazon. And yeah, we watched the Monarch one. Very slow. Not a lot of Godzilla. Supposedly this month or next month they're coming out with season 2, but I did watch some of it, and it was fine. It was fine. It was a little weird. It really didn't feel like Godzilla, but it was all right. I like the new Godzilla movies that they had out. The one 2018 and then 2021 or whatever it was. I enjoyed those. Kong Godzilla. I enjoyed the new ones there. I really did. So I know I just kind of like them all. In fact, I pulled out all my old DVDs and I've been watching them every now and then. The root beer is nice and cold. I could probably just put it out on the deck, and the root beer would be freezing. That's how cold it is outside. But yes, I have watched the Monarch Legacies. There was a few series we watched on Apple TV that was good. I really did like it. I still have it too because I got it for. I was gonna cancel it, and they reduced the price down to like $5 or $6 a month. I says, all right, I'll do that. Oh yeah, the buttermilk pancakes. Yeah, yeah, they're good. Yeah, 0-39. Let's get a W. I think I saw something on YouTube about a team that hadn't won a game in forever. Oh, the whipped butter. Yeah, the whipped butter is good. Oh, it's so good. It's good. Yeah, I know. Late at night, here we are talking food. We're supposed to be going to bed. We're not supposed to be getting hungry, but here we are kind of working ourselves up. And Todd likes the pancakes and sausage, yeah? Doug's a French toast type of guy. Yeah, the collective munchies have hit the chat. I know, it's just what we do, right? It's just it's what we do as a group, right? Food is safe. Food's safe. And Chris just woke up from a snooze on the couch, and now he's probably going to go for the fridge right now after all this food talk, right? I'm glad I don't use the DoorDash. I never used it. I don't get food delivered. I go get it. I just don't like how long it takes. You don't know where it is. And aside from an occasional pizza delivery, but still, I usually go out. I'll call up the street and pick up a delivery. Pick up. I'll come get it. Saving the delivery charge because we usually don't go too far anyway. And that way, there I can drive up immediately, get it when it's hot, and it's not sitting around. I just bring it right home. It's not sitting in anybody's car. It's not 10th on the delivery. A lot of people, like say, they do the DoorDash. They get like McDonald's delivered with DoorDash, and I think Ron does that. And it's like, so they'll get a couple of hamburgers and a couple of fries and a drink, and then I don't know if they have to add on the delivery fee or not, but it just makes the fast food even more expensive if you get it delivered. But again, it's easier for them. They don't have a car, so obviously that's the way to go for them. But if you can drive, I just drive down the street and get it. It gets me out of the house. I'll be like, hey, you want some Burger King? There's one a couple towns away. I go. It's a little further than the one in town. So I'll just drive down to the mall and because you get on the that's how it is. You get on the mall, like everything's there. It's like Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. I mean, any fast food you can think of is like right in a row. So I'll go down and get a couple of burgers from Burger King. And the pesky pole comes by. Good to see you. And let's see what else going on in the chat. And Christopher remembers Shoney's. He says, I don't know the Shoney's. He says when he was in Virginia, he had the Shoney's. I don't know the Shoney's. And Fenner says the breakfast buffet on the cruise ships. He needs to get back on a cruise ship. I've never been on one, and I never plan on being on one. I just that's one of those things I can't do. I'm not an ocean guy. My wife went on a cruise with her sister, and she said she was miserable. Honestly, she says it was too hot for her, and that she'd get up to go to the pool, and all the deck chairs were taken, and there was no quiet place to go. She said there was a library downstairs that she had to go in to avoid like all the loud music and get some AC. And she goes, "This," and they brought teenagers with them. They brought her nephews, and they were bored out of their mind because they didn't have internet, and it just wasn't a good time. She says, "I'm like, well, that's why I didn't go because I'd be the same way as a kid. Where's my internet? And it'd be too noisy. And if I couldn't get a deck chair, no, no thanks, no thanks. Yeah, I mean, like him or not, it's kind of like if LeBron James doesn't get in on the first Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Just because he's a jerk to the press. Come on, this is it's so petty. But again, the Hall of Fame went from let's put in some good athletes to a popularity contest, and the people that hold the votes, I don't know. I think it's more about them wielding the power. So what's kind of funny is I saw a little picture on social media the other day, and it says uh it was a picture of Brady with Belichick, and it says, "Imagine how Brady would have done with a Hall of Fame coach." And it was a play on that Belichick's not in the Hall of Fame. And they're trying to say it was all Brady because Belichick didn't do well after Brady left. I think it was the two of them. I think it was the two of them. I really do. I think the two of them, and even was it McDaniel, the offensive coordinator? I think those guys are good. But even before they won the 3 Super Bowls, back in the early 2000s, and they didn't have the McDaniel guy. So just Brady Belichick. It's like, they're just both fantastic working together. That was the worst thing I've seen the NFL do in a while. It's a piss poor league, in your opinion. It can be. It can be. Where do you find to sell some of your collection? In Canada, it's not easy. Even Facebook is hard to sell. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of places on Facebook you can go in the groups, but yeah, across the border stuff, you probably want to sell to somebody in Canada, obviously, to save on all that shipping. Scott said he worked at Waffle House in the middle of the night for a lot of years, and he misses them. So, Tribe fan comes by, Blue Jacket fan. They're talking about the Rangers. I guess the Rangers are bad. Is that a Striper shirt? Yes, it is, Marlon. Yes, it is. That's my Striper shirt right there. Yep. I threw that on. Gonna get out of the shower today, put that on. I might even wear this up to the rink tomorrow. I'll have to have my shirt and tie over it, but I gotta have Striper underneath. I might do that. He's Michael Sweet. He's fighting cancer, I think. Is it throat cancer or some kind of a cancer he's got? He's fighting it right now. He's posting on Facebook about it, sadly. Fenner is him and his wife want to go from Hawaii to Bora Bora. I have no idea what Bora Bora is. And Monarch does Legacy ties in with the Godzilla and the Kong movies. Yeah, it's all kind of under this big umbrella now. I thought the Ghidorah one was good when they blew up Fenway Park and all of Boston. That's the only thing about the modern movies now. Like the old ones were kind of fun, but Godzilla always found a place to battle somebody out. Like I didn't realize Japan had that big of open areas, like, around the mountains and stuff that Godzilla could go and fight. I thought Japan was more compact, more like cities. I know it probably has suburbs, but, you see the Godzilla movies, like, is that really part of Japan? Does that even exist? Is there enough room for Godzilla to move around and do battle without being in a city? Maybe it is. Maybe as a kid, that's just what I thought. Um, but I just thought of, like, the newer stuff is, like, the cities just to get wrecked. In Boston, when he blew up and it, like, for miles around, I'd probably be dead, that's how close I am to Boston. And so if that really happened, we'd all be dead over here. But it's just they wreck so much of the cities in multiple cities that uh, it's hard to fathom. It kind of is. That's the only thing about the newer movies, even in the last, 15 to 20 years. They just destroy these cities. And then he goes back into the water, and you're looking at that, and you're like, man, this is going to take us like 50 years to rebuild. I know this is kind of how my mind works. I look at that, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, cha-ching, cha-ching. Oh, there goes that building. Cha-ching. So that's just how my mind works. I don't know. It's just funny. And the only thing, yeah, was streaming some of the movies. Yeah, HBO Max has some of them, and I watch some. Is the older ones? They're all in Japanese. I have so many Godzilla movies on streaming, and they're all in Japanese. The discs I have the English overdub, and that's what I prefer because I don't want to be watching the screen reading. I want to listen and then watch Godzilla. So that's why I picked up this little cheapo DVD player, and I pulled out all my Godzilla DVDs, and I've been watching the Godzilla stuff. And um and I liked having the overdub. Like I liked the was it Astro Monster? That's what the first one with Ghidra when they went to the planet there. And I like the English. I like to listen to the English. I do. It's hard to listen to the Japanese and then read it. So I bought all these movies on streaming years and years ago, and it's like they're all in Japanese, and it's hard. It's really hard for me to do that. Let's see here. Christopher, some of the voters are saying it's because the numbers crunch. I heard that too. They can only vote for 3, and they didn't want to let some guys not get in because they said Belichick will get in eventually. We know that. So it was I think it's still kind of dumb. I think it's a bad message. I think it's a bad look. It's a bad look, you know. And crew fan's gonna go make a sandwich. What are you gonna make? I know. I have some chicken upstairs and I have some ham upstairs, and I bought it like Tuesday and haven't got to it yet. I need to go eat it before it goes bad. I always go buy all this food during the week and I never get to it. I'm like, well, what do I eat during the week? I'm not starving, that's for sure. But it seems like we go shopping, it's like I don't get any food, and then the end of the week comes and I get all this food I didn't eat. Yeah, I'm not a big DoorDash guy. It's a lot of extra money to spend. People talk about that too. It's like, you know, the food cost goes up when you start using that stuff. If you have to, you have to. For example, if you're at your bud's house and you're having some drinks, yeah, don't go out and get it. Obviously, have it delivered, but we don't do that anymore. So it's one of us goes to pick it up. It just works out. And let's see here. Yeah, it is. It is too expensive. I agree. Um, then again, I've never really did it, but it's just the idea that you got to go and tip the driver, and sometimes a delivery fee, and I don't know about that. Tribe fan says never DoorDash or Uber Eats. That's the other one, Uber Eats. Yeah, only thing I'll ever get delivered is pizza, and I haven't eaten a full pizza in about 3.5 years. She has been buying the Aldi pizza from Aldi's, and it's so good. It really is. It really is. Um, the pizza around here, I gotta say, the pizza around here are very good. All the pizza joints, it's hard to, aside from like a chain like Domino's, I don't like Domino's at all. Will I eat it if I'm really hungry late at night? Especially years ago when I was younger. Yeah, obviously. But we have all the house of pizzas around here. Every town's got a house of pizza, and they're usually all pretty good. The one up the street from us here actually burned down. during COVID, actually burned down, and then they rebuilt it all and put in all the machines, and they're kicking butt right now, and we go there all the time. That's our go-to place right up the street. Um, let's see. And so try find you got to get some pizza going here. Alan says, I want to tell you I appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm not doing so good. I'm sorry that. Sorry to hear that, Alan. But you guys keep me in the hobby and get my mind off things. That's what we're here for. We're here to have a good time. We're here to talk, and we have a good time talking. We talk about games. We talk about food. We try to keep things light, and we try to have a good time. And it just sometimes when we come on here with the chats, whether it's me or me and someone else, we just chat. That's what we do, and we try to have a good time. We try to reminisce a lot. There's a lot of reminiscing here. You'll know. Oh, we might remember seeing that wrestling match or that hockey game or whatever it is. So we try to have a good time here, and I think we accomplished that largely. But I'm hope you get the feeling better, Alex. I know what it's like to feel terrible, and I don't know what you're going through, and you don't have to say anything, but it's just yucky when you're going through health problems. That's the worst thing. In pesky polls, yes, we're supposed to get snow down in South Carolina. That should be coming in soon, I think, because I had the Weather Channel on. That's how big this storm is. I've been watching the Weather Channel, and they're like, yeah, all the way from Texas all the way up to Massachusetts is going to get some snow, and New Hampshire's going to get snow, and South Carolina's mentioned. And they were showing a lot. I'm like, boy, South Carolina's right above Florida. It doesn't snow too often down there. Yeah, there won't be a D to D cruise. If there is, I won't be on it. I won't be on it. And yes, this hobby, and sometimes these chats, I would come on sometimes with these chats, as this hobby has helped me at times too. Is I would come on for myself, not for anything else but myself, but just to come on and kind of talk about things I enjoy talking about. That's how all the chats started. Was just I want to talk about something fun. I had a bad day, or maybe I'm going through something health wise, or whatever it is. Or, my dog died. I come on here. I want to talk something fun. Usually it does turn into something fun. AP, what is the view about how Vegas is now becoming a popular destination for sports teams? Raiders and the A's. Now the NBA wants there. Yeah, like I said, I've been hearing that Vegas is not doing well as a destination in general. Okay, again, it's just kind of what I saw. It could just be one man's opinion that I saw, but I haven't been there in years. But I would go back for a football game, for a hockey game, maybe even basketball or baseball. I see. That's the thing that would attract me to go out there because the weather's always good. There's a ton of things to do out there, more or less. But yeah, to go out there, see, we don't do the gambling anymore. I don't like to do that, and it is kind of a shady place. It really is. Vegas is kind of a shady place. But if you stay on the strip, you're usually okay, and there's a ton of people around. But as far as the sports teams going there, well, now that they've kind of got the gambling thing squared away, because that's what it was, is that you could go into Vegas and gamble, so that's why you couldn't have any teams there. But now that everybody's sponsored by these gambling places, you can go in there and do that. And I'd like to see an NBA team there. I would. I mean, me, I love my expansion teams. And so when Vegas moved there for hockey, I thought it was good. The Raiders, good for them. Supposedly that stadium is phenomenal. That's from what I hear. The A's, yeah, I don't know where they're going to be playing. I don't even know what's going on with the A's right now. I don't know if they taking time off, or are they still playing, or they playing at that Tampa stadium. Did Tampa ever get their stadium fixed? Remember the hurricane destroyed the stadium and they played, I don't know, in a sandlot or something. The Tampa Bay, what do they call it? Devil Rays. Did they ever figure out what they're going to do with the Devil Rays? Were they going to fix that stadium or build a new one, or were they going to move to us? And I wonder what the A's are doing too, because they're out of Oakland, right? Now, did they leave Oakland last year? Was that their last year in Oakland, or are they someplace else? Again, I don't follow baseball that much, so I don't know. But I know that Oakland either moved or was moving, and Tampa has no place to play. And yeah, the base. I imagine the baseball just as bad. It's a popularity contest, and there's some people who weren't kind to the press that didn't get in. So, and Rob, Ontario's 9 feet of snow. Yeah, well, that's nuts. I've been seeing videos on YouTube about the Toronto snowstorm, and don't know if it's fake or not. It doesn't look fake. It looks like people just digging out and snow blowing out. So I don't know how bad Toronto got it or what's going on up there. But I know Canada's a lot colder than we are. Um, but yeah, it could be a lot worse. That's for sure. Bill and Tom are a combo. One needed the other. Both should be in. That's kind of how I feel, Todd. Whether you like him or not, either one of them. I mean, Brady was solid, but Bill was the defensive master, and he got his defense ready to play, and he let like I say, Josh or the other offense coordinators handle with Brady. Obviously, he had a hand on it, but it just seemed like that Brady was the offensive guy, and Belichick followed up with the defense, and just you need to have a good defense to win, and so that's kind of what happened. Now, again, without Brady, there was no offense. I mean, let's face it. Who are the quarterbacks after Brady? The New England had nobody. They really didn't. They had a couple guys were supposed to be good, and they never panned out. Um, but I think it was again. It's the sum is greater than the parts. Is that what that old saying is? So them together, unbeatable. Them separate, mixed bag. Brady did well for a year, but so that is that. Let's see here. Back in the chat. Yes, we're all hoping for Allen to get better here. Yep. Yeah, it's again, this is a fun port in the storm. It is. We try to get away from the crap in life and come here. And what was the joke? Eli Manning didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Someone said, "Well, he never beat a Hall of Fame coach." Yeah, that's another good joke. Oh, Sarnia is in the house, and Dale Murphy hasn't got into the Hall of Fame yet. I think the Hall of Fame sometimes. So, I think it's very emotional because a lot of times they'll bring up like Boston guys. I won't mention any names, but they'll say, "Oh wow, wasn't this guy? Why isn't this guy in the Hall of Fame?" And I'm like, "Yes, he was a fan favorite, and yes, he was a good player. But if you put him in the Hall of Fame, you're gonna have to put hundreds of other guys in the Hall of Fame too, because he's at this tier. He's not at this tier. He's at this tier. He's not here. He's here, but he's not at the top. So when you allow this guy in, you can make an argument for everybody else along that level. And there's probably guys on Minnesota that had the same numbers as this guy. It's like we would never talk about them in the Hall of Fame conversation, but because we're local guys and we saw this guy play, he should be in there. And I would say I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see. Is Godzilla a Hall of Fame monster? He is the Hall of Fame. He is the Hall of Fame. That's what it is. He is the Hall of Fame. All right, so my root beer is gone, so that means I'll be winding up the chat pretty soon because otherwise I'll crack another one. Then I'll be up going to the bathroom all night because that's just what I do. Um, Cleveland wasn't destroyed too badly in this Superman movie. Yeah, it's funny when they destroy cities. It really is. And Rob says, given all the success this season, I got the Seahawks on my table replaying the 84 season. So, what's up with the 84 Seahawks? Tell me about the 84 Seahawks, Rob. I'm not too familiar with them. While we're doing that, I will go to Pro Football Reference and I will look at the 84 Seahawks to see what all the hubbub is with the 84 Seahawks. They were 12-4. They beat the Raiders and then lost to the Dolphins badly in Miami, but they didn't have a bad season. What I wanted to do was Dave Cook had a deal where you could get the current Patriots and Seahawks and play them, but you also could play, was it the 60 Patriots and the 76 Hawks? So you had two bad teams, two good teams, two bad teams. I think I have 70 and 76. So I have this, I could play the 70 Boston Patriots who are bad and have them take on 76 expansion Seahawks. I think I'm going to do that some way, somehow. I don't know what game. Might be Fast Drive Football because I have those two teams in Fast Drive Football. Or it could be Game Winning Drive or something like that. But I should do that. Mothra's 65th anniversary. I wasn't a big Mothra guy. But when Godzilla was bad, it was fun seeing the little guys bite his tail. I did like that. And Rowdy picked up a bundle of History Maker golf stuff off of eBay. Never opened. That's kind of wild. Scott likes it when they did the English dub over the Japanese and it doesn't sync. I will take that. I mean, I grew up with that. Yep, I grew up with that, and I like it. And that's how I prefer to watch Godzilla. Is the bad mouth syncing? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I need to hear the English so I can follow the movie. Because when I hear him talking in Japanese and I'm reading it, I'm too busy reading and I'm not watching the movie, and it takes away from the movie. It just does. And Crew Fan said he watched Godzilla Raids again. Never saw that one before. It was bad. That is probably the worst Godzilla movie. It just never went anywhere. It was just lame. They tried to follow up the Godzilla, and they fought on the island, and then they went back to the land, and then they went back to the island. It never really went anywhere. Of course, Godzilla's tacked to Waffle House. Of course he did. Oh, all these pizzas. Okay, there's one for all these pizza. Yes, it is good. I might have to go have a bite before I go to bed because I'm getting hungry again. I would, yeah, Waffle House and Godzilla. That would be tough. That would be tough. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who would win that one. I was kind of hoping they would just kind of all get along. Let's see. And Rob says I never use any of those delivery services. If I'm too lazy to get in my car or walk 5 blocks, I should be in the hospital. Yeah, I know. I go out and get it myself. I do. I just like to go get it myself. Just what I've always done. And you never know. Like, so sometimes, like, especially if you go to the fast food, you go in, you're like, oh man, but that chicken sandwich looks pretty good. I know I'm supposed to get a Big Mac, but that chicken sandwich looks pretty good. Maybe I'll get that too. So you always get a little bit more than you think, and then you know when you're gonna get it instead of waiting for it. You don't get excuses about this, that. And you get it. It's cold. It's yucky. So I like to just go get it myself. And Boxing Jones -1. Where are we now? We are on our way to -1. We are at 3. When I started the show, it was 12 or 9. I forget. It was either 9 or 12. But that's where we are now in an hour and a half. And what else we got going on over here? Yeah, I'd like to pick it up. I do. That's what I like to do. Yeah, well, Vegas, yeah, you used to be able to get a flight into Vegas cheap, you get hotels cheap. Everything was cheap, 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 cheap. And now it's like not. So it's the allure isn't there to get back to Vegas. Oh, you got 7 in New Jersey, so you're having a heat wave here. And it's 1 degree. Excuse me, Ohio. Oh, the A's are in Sacramento. Okay. Okay. And Tampa Bay, they fixed their stadium? Okay, yeah, because I know the roof blew off. And A's are building a ballpark on the Strip. So the old Tropicana. Oh, I remember the Tropicana. The Tropicana's gone, huh? All those places are gone. I stayed at the Stardust, and that's gone. I've been to Vegas, 4 or 5 times, and I would say 2 of the places that I stayed at are gone. I remember we went up to the old town there with a Golden Nugget and stuff. That is really old. You walk in there and it just feels like you're walking in a trailer park. And I grew up in a trailer park, so I can say that. And you go in and you see the carpet's just old. It's a little dark. It's just everything's just older. I think you can even smoke in there. And then you get downtown to Caesars and places like that, and all the newer places. It's all shiny new. It's very different. Yeah, I don't know if I would go back to Vegas. If I went to Vegas, I'd have to go there for something because the gambling thing doesn't do it for me anymore. And I'm not a big travel. I don't like to fly, so I don't think I'd ever get back to Vegas. I mean, maybe someday. Maybe someday. Let's see. The Radius Stadium is amazing. Only problem is they don't really have a home field advantage. It's a ton of other teams fly in. That was the thing about the Florida teams. They said, but the Tampa Bay was it the Tampa Bay Devil Rays? Like they'd get 5,000 people to show up, but if the Yankees, the Red Sox come in, they would do well because of all the Yankees and the Red Sox fans. Oh, so the Rays will be back. Oh, this season at Tropicana Field. Okay, okay, good. And the Vegas population has gone up. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting bigger over there. A lot of people go there for the weather, and a lot of people work on the strip there. So, and Micah comes by. Good to see you, Mister Wimmer. Um, and Alan says he lives by the border of Canada and the U.S. It gets to be -40. I can't imagine. I just can't fathom that. It was like I say, 2 degrees this morning, and I was unloading the truck, and I forget it. 5 minutes, I'm done. I can't imagine -40. I don't know how long you could last outside. Seriously, I don't know how you could do that. That is just nuts. A friend of mine, I've said this on the show before. Not a friend of mine, but a guy I work with back in the early '90s, late '80s, early '90s. He was from North Dakota or South Dakota, one of the Dakotas. I think it was. I forget which one. And he said that they would have to plug in their cars at night, because it was so cold that the block would freeze. And he says a lot of times, like when you would go in the grocery store, people would leave the keys in the car and the car running, like everybody did, because it was so cold that even if you didn't have it plugged in or running for 10 or 15 minutes, it would your car would be junk. And so I remember hearing, I was like, man, why would anybody want to live like that? I know we had 2 feet of snow, and you're like, why would you want to live like that? Well, it's not all the time. It's just, this is kind of crazy weather. And maybe it was once in a while out there too, but he sounded like that was like the norm is that you come home and everybody had this little plug that stuck out of their car. He showed it to me. His car had a plug sticking out, and he would take an extension cord and plug it in, and that's what would keep the car from freezing overnight as far as all the oils and stuff. Yeah, Belichick drafted Brady and kept him over Bledsoe when Bledsoe was healthy. I at the time, and I say this, I would have gone back to Bledsoe, and I would have been completely wrong. And there's an alternate universe somewhere that New England didn't win any Super Bowls. I did. I was like, Bledsoe was my guy too. I was like, Brady, come on, let's go with Bledsoe. And I was upset, generally upset that he stuck with Brady. So was Bledsoe. Bledsoe was mad too. Well, it turned out very very well. And Bledsoe did okay. He went to Buffalo. He did okay. He's got his wine thing going, so Bledsoe's all right. He's probably sour about it still. I would be too. Yeah, but he got a Super Bowl. He brought the team, right up to that point, and then Brady brought him over the line, whatever. And yes, Godzilla is Babe Ruth. Yep. Yep. Um, Mutant League Football 2. Do you know what I played tonight? Oh my gosh, you know what I played tonight? I picked up on Steam. I picked up it was a bundle. It was like $11, and it was a casino bundle and a card game bundle. So I was playing like some video poker, and then I played some draw poker and Pai Gow poker. I don't like this new poker they got on TV. I like the old draw or the Pai Gow. And then I played I think it had a couple slot machines. I played roulette. And I just like stupid casino games. It's all fake money and whatever. Just play and have fun. So I was playing that. Then I went to the card game, and they had a whole bunch. I was playing against the computer. I was playing Rummy. Remember Rummy 500? I played some Rummy. I played some War. You can play War. You can play Fish. You can play Crazy Eights. And I was playing this solitaire game called Golf. If you ever played golf, and it's not golf at all. It's just called golf. And you get what I think it's 6 or 7. I think it's 7 rows of 5, and you flip over a card, and you try to create a run of cards. So if you flip over a 7, you can play an 8 or a 6. So the idea is you want to go like 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, and you want to keep piling the cards. You got to clear the board, is what it is. That's how you play the solitaire game. I must have played 30 or 40 games, and I couldn't beat it. It is so hard to beat it. It was fun. It was fun. I was chatting with somebody while I was doing it. It's like, man, I just haven't won a game yet. But that's how solitaire games are. They're not meant to win all the time. So if you've ever played solitaire games, it's fun. So I was doing that on Steam tonight. I love my casual games. Sometimes just come down here and not have to worry about setting anything up and just playing. Zorn was a turnover machine in '76. Well, he was also on a bad team, to be fair. Let's just be fair about that, okay? Let's see. Alan says all the ball players that took steroids in the MLB should be in the Hall of Fame if they had numbers. Well, that was the argument too with those guys. There was should they be in the Hall of Fame for doing that? I My feeling on that is do what you need to do to get your body in the shape you want it to be. I never could figure out why steroids was such a bad thing. And there's probably reasons why. But for me, it's kind of like, if you like Brady didn't eat like what tomatoes, and he didn't eat any junk food. He just ate healthy, and that's why he played so long because he took care of himself. So if you want to take care of yourself one way or another, I don't see what the issue is. Although a lot of guys that took steroids found out that wasn't the way to go. And maybe that's why. Maybe they're trying to save them from themselves. But I could never see why you got mad at somebody that if you took steroids or whatever you did for your body, enhancers or vitamins. I mean, I don't see why that was so wrong and why you should be kicked out of the Hall of Fame or not be allowed in for that. I to me, that's your job. Your job is to be strong. Your job is to be fast. Oh, Barbara's at 0 right now. 13 -13 Celsius for Sean, which I don't know what's that like -90 Fahrenheit or something. I don't know. And 57 in Seattle, rain. I would take 57 in rain just to get the snow off my roof. You know. Oh boy, Andrew. Andrew, I was talking nice about you. I really was talking nice about you. You were great on the Tabletop Sportscast. You do a great job. And now over here you're rubbing in the temperature in my face. Really? Is that what we're gonna do? You're gonna make me feel terrible about my weather? And Micah says you had 3 snow cold days this week in Cleveland. Perks of being a teacher. We have shut down pretty much the last week because of the cold and the snow. Pretty much. We did play this morning, which it's not my league, but I run it and I have to get there. And I was like, I'm not doing that tomorrow morning in my league. My league is shutting down. It is dangerously cold out right now. It really is. And it's just not when it's this cold, it's not fun to play hockey. It's just not fun. Waiting for the snow. Yeah, we got snow coming in everywhere. 32 in SoCal. Well, SoCar, right? Let's see. The 84 Hawks were 12-4. I was just looking at that. Yeah, ended up getting bounced by Miami. Craig, Largent, Walker, Green, Butler, Easley, and Harris. 35 interceptions. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we don't like to win. We don't like to win. Mr. Lake Effects. Good to see you. We're just kind of chatting here for a few more minutes. We were talking a lot of food earlier. Oh man, it turned into a food cast. I was supposed to start off and talk about the weather and talk about a few other things, and then we did having a good time talking about food tonight. We always have a good time on here. We find a topic that everybody wants to talk about, and that's what we do. Oh, there you go. Hockey Bones. I almost played that tonight. I did. I was like, this is because I did the payoff pitch PC earlier. I says, I am dying to play some hockey. And I said, I need to get some hockey bones or some apple hockey. So I think I'm gonna go hockey bones. I am craving a Seals game. You know how me, I like to play the Seals against a good team and like watch them get smashed. I'm craving that right now. That's like I just need to do that, and I haven't done it. But hockey bones is the way to go. I really do like the hockey bones. The thing about the hockey bones in the app is I know them pretty well, so I can put them back on the table in maybe 5 or 6 minutes after kind of look at everything, and it'll all come back to me. And it's not a lot of games do that, but those two, I played them so much, I'm getting pretty good with it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Have you played it before, by the way, the hockey bones, or is this like brand new? So let me know what you think. I really like it, and it took me a while to like it, but I do. Let's see back in the chat here. Oh, Alan works outside. Yeah, your car make noises you never thought it could make. Yes, that's the other. They were talking about that here on the news. They were like, "Is your car? It's so cold. Is your car making noise?" So yes, I absolutely agree, and it makes me nervous because my car is like 4 or 5 years old, so I got an older battery, and I'm wondering like, man, if I go up to New Hampshire, is it going to start? What do we do if it doesn't start because it's so cold? So I get nervous about that. I really do. Like when it's 20 or 30, I'm not too worried about it. But when it's 0, I'm concerned about that. And it's just so cold outside. Bledsoe, one of the few heavily respected by Bills and Pats fan. Yep, yep. Am I gonna get one what? Get one what? What are we talking about here? What am I gonna get? One of 4 seasons every Sabres fans needs. Yeah. Yes, I'm no longer working at that job. Yes. Yep. And the thing is, we never had the conversation. People don't want to talk. They just want to text and get mad. If he had called me, I could have explained why I couldn't get to the rink, but that didn't matter. So 10 years of never missing an assignment. I missed one because snow came back and buried me in, or at least buried me to a point where I didn't want to go out and clean it off again. Okay, if I could have gotten my car and gone, 3 hours earlier, it wouldn't have been a problem. But we had a lot more snow come in, and I don't know if he knows that because he's I don't think he's the coast got the snow. He's a little bit more inland, so maybe he didn't see it. But it's not like I was, sitting home saying, "No, I'm just getting drunk. I ain't going in," or "I'm going to sit and get high, and not go in." That wasn't. I couldn't get in. It was, and I thought it would be. I made the call thinking it'd be too dangerous, and that wasn't good enough. So, yes. So I am done with them. So, um, on the lighter side of things, Monday nights I will be home, so I'll probably be doing some games here on Monday night. So that'll open up another night of possibilities for me. And it's gonna stink because I mean I've done it for 10 years and I'm used to it, and made a little bit of money, and I didn't necessarily hate the job. Um, I don't want anybody else to get it because again, it was my job to do on Monday nights, but neither do I want to work for somebody like that either. So yeah, so the job is gone, and that's how it turned out. I never got a phone call, and I just saw that my schedule is gone. I'm not on the schedule. Now I did say in one of my messages I need time off, so I didn't say I quit, but I said I need time off. So he's respecting my wishes there. But still, a phone call would have been nice to say, hey, because he said he was going to call. He said he was going to call, and he never did. And then I get an email threatening that if it happens again, I'm fired. It's like, well, let me just save you the trouble. I didn't quit, but I need time off, and maybe that time off is permanent. I don't know. Like I say, I work 7 days sometimes, so having a day off might not be a bad thing. Once you learn how to play, you'll definitely stream it. Good. I want to see it. I want to see the hockey bones. I do. And yes, there is a difference in cold. There's a dry cold and a wet cold. Um, and you get sometimes the dry cold is more comfortable than a damp. Yes, I would agree. And the same with heat is because sometimes like in the Southwest, It's that dry heat, and it's like it's 100 degrees, but 100 degrees there and 100 degrees here is night and day. 100 degrees here is so oppressive. Sometimes you're in the house with AC or whatever, or just even fans, and you walk out the door and it just feels like you walked into a wall of water. That's how bad the heat is around here in the summertime, and it's just you just feel it. It's like, woof, I just walked it. Like, dude, you feel like when you walk out the door, you feel like you walked in to just a stream of water. That's what it feels like. But yes, I agree with that. When it gets to 120, I can give it some crap. All right, Andrew, I will. Just remind me. Oh, it's bizarre living so close to downtown Cleveland. It's basically a ghost town. It is. I will say that, Michael. We have that too. Sometimes when we get buried in snow and the snow's coming down, we're snowed in. There is some kind of a piece to that because no one's out. The roads are no one's out on the roads. The occasional plow comes by. Sometimes, a neighbor will walk over and hang out with us, or we get a relative that's like right up the street might drive up and hang out with us for a bit. And there is kind of that snowed in, peaceful feeling there, knowing that you can't go out. So you don't have to worry about getting to work or anything else. And you just kind of ride it out and just enjoy the tranquility of it. There is a little bit of that. There is. But it's also nice to know that it's not going to last very long. And then if you do have to get out like to the hospital or something like that, you're not like under 10 feet of snow. And yes, the snow mounds are big. Yeah, I had trouble coming out of my street. It's like you're looking, it's like, oh man, someone's going to slam me. Oh, it's 11 in Buffalo. Feels like -3, but yeah, it's still, you got me by 8 or 9 degrees. Yeah, I'm at there too. I'm over in the two. Yes, it is. And yeah, the freestyle chats are fun. Just you never know. You never know who's going to come on. You never know what we're going to talk about. Sometimes somebody will join me, and sometimes they don't. My friend there, Pesky Pole, just moved to Rochester, and he just bought a house right on Lake. Was it Ontario? Whatever the big lake is up there across from Toronto. And he's only been there maybe a month or two, and he says he's buried in snow right now, and his pipes froze, so he's got no heat and no water, so he can't really he hasn't been able to take a shower. I said, "How you even go in the bathroom?" He's like, "Well, they're all holding it because toilets won't flush. There's no water." And he's only been there a short time. It's like it's kind of miserable right now. He goes, "Summer's going to be great, here on the lake, but right now, yeah." Oh, no, I will not go and be a popsicle. No, no, no more popsicles. Yeah, yep, yeah, it is, John. I got the old striper shirt on. I got a few striper shirts. I mix them up. I like my striper shirts. Yes, I was treated like crap. Yes, I was. Yeah, I'm still very upset about it. Again, if I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. And then something happened. So you'd think you would say, geez, Dave's never missed an assignment. Something must have happened instead of you missed the game. It's a blizzard out. The governor says stay off the road. And you want me to drive for a part-time job? I'm not going to slide off the road, crash my car, and have it in the shop for weeks, or risk an accident or anything like that, or be stressing out, or have to go out and clean off my car again. It's like I show up when I'm sick. I show up in the cold. I show up in the heat. I'm there every week, and this one time I can't get there, and well, you canceled too late. I didn't know I wasn't going until I opened the door up 20 minutes for the game because it takes me 20 minutes to get there. And that was the attitude. That was the attitude. He says, I'll call you tomorrow. And he never called me. So I never got to tell him. So finally, when I got the email, I says, okay. I says, sounds like missing one game in 10 years makes me unreliable. So you should probably find someone's going to be more reliable than me. And I says, I need some time off. And that's what I told him. And next thing you know, boom, my schedule's cleared. Lost a lot of respect for the guy. And I liked him too. I like the guy. I've been working with him for about 10 years now, one way or another. And I lost a lot of respect Monday night for him. Now, maybe he's going through things too, and maybe he got crap because I didn't go to the game because he's kind of the middleman. He's the scheduler. Maybe his guy got on him, but at least have my back. Let's just say, hey, Dave hasn't missed a game in 10 years. Get off his back. I don't want to lose him because he's there every week. Nope. That's not how it went. So, never played Bones before. Bones is it looks daunting, but it's not. I will say that about hockey balls. Keep in mind with any hockey game, whether it's Strat or App or Hockey Bones, those three in particular, even Hockey Blast, I guess to a certain degree. There's only so many things that can happen on a play. So when you look at the cards and you see all the symbols and you're like, oh my gosh, what did all this mean? There's one page you need to print out with all the symbols, and that's like my cheat card. But only so many things can happen. You take a shot, you take a penalty, you pass the puck, you ice the puck, or some other kind of whistle. So what did I say? Shot on goal, penalty, pass, whistle, and there's one other thing. There's like only 4 or 5 things that can happen in a hockey game. And once you keep that in mind, it's like, oh, okay. I just got to figure out which one of these is going to be. Yeah, that's what I said too. Being on Donald Trump, bad weather. Again, there was no conversation, so we couldn't talk it over. If he had called and said, "What's going on? It's clear over here," because I looked on the map, and we got over 2 feet of snow, 24 to 27, they said, and just 5 or 10 miles away, they get 17 inches, so they got 8 or 10 less inches of snow. So we get 8 or 10 more inches. Maybe where he was, he's like, hey, over here, it's not bad. What's the problem? Well, where I was, it was bad. But we never had the call. We never had the call, and that's the problem. People don't talk. You start assuming things. And that's what happened. Yep. That's pretty much what I did. I'm still, as you can tell, I'm still pretty heated about it. I don't like losing jobs. I don't like the fact that that's how they treat you too. I mean, this is the company that if you have COVID, you were still expected to show up if you couldn't find somebody, because I'm supposed to find my replacement if I can't show up. If I'm on the schedule and I can't go, I have to find my own replacement for a part-time job. I don't even know how to do it because I never needed to. I never needed to find a replacement, so I never had to use that. So I don't even know how to go about it. He's like, well, go find somebody. I don't know how to find somebody. I never needed to. That's what you don't get. I've never needed to. That's how reliable I am. But yeah, if you had COVID, couldn't find somebody, you were expected to go to the rink with COVID. That's how this guy operates. I'm like, and he's always threatening, oh, I'm going to dock your paycheck if you do this. One dime comes out of my paycheck. That'll be the last time. So I don't have to worry about it. Yep. Exactly. Take this job and shove it. Yep. 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 Yeah, I don't need that for sure. And he's like, well, you had all day to find a replacement if you knew you weren't going. I didn't know I wasn't going. It wasn't until 8:30. The game's at 9. It was 8:30. I put on my coat. I went to walk out the door, and I went, holy crap, the snow's back. And it's bad. That's when I made the decision that I didn't feel safe going at that point. And I wasn't going to risk it for one game that should have been canceled. They should have canceled it. Not good enough, I guess. Yeah, and I wasn't even thinking about, dying on the way there, but I'm just thinking if I skidded off the road and crashed my car, you know how long it takes to get cars fixed now? Last time my car was broke down, it sat there 2 or 3 weeks or almost a month. I can't be doing that right now, risking that. So, and Mr. Baseman comes by. Yeah, I've been thinking about I've been kind of thinking about taking Mondays off anyway, because it sucks to go out again. It's not snowing. You don't know if you're going to play or not. I have no control over it. My leagues, I do. I could just say, hey, look, we're not playing. Like tomorrow, I ain't going. It's too cold. But I'll freeze at the rink down there and just in the winter times, I drive through the snow or the ice, and yeah, it sucks. I get out of it's so cold sometimes I can't even write with the pen. My hand doesn't work because it's so cold. I'm like, I should take some time off from Mondays. Well, now I do. and now I can, spend it with you guys here and stream a game or do a chat or, play a game offline or spend time, with the wife watching Godzilla or something. So it'll be different to get some time back. I don't like how it went down. I don't like how it went down. There was no communication, and when I saw that he was giving me crap about it on the text line, I was like, screw that. Yeah, you like the AAA, the Columbus Clippers. Yep, Columbus Clippers. I tried the big bet hockey. Yeah, yeah. All right, Mike, I'll check my email. Thank you so much. Let's see, what did you send that to? You send that to let me double check here. Okay, no. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh, okay. That's who created. Oh, thank you so much. Perfect. So I did get that, Mike. Thank you. Let me just double check here. Yeah, looks like all the files are here. Yeah, that should be fun. This is going to be awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's one I will play. I love that stuff. Yeah. I mean, just, I can see if I'm a young kid and I've been, blowing it off and, Jeepers creepers. Yeah. Yeah. I missed one time. One time. Yep. How the coyotes, it's been quiet over here, Sean. In fact, the possums haven't even come out. We were kind of worried because they were under the shed, and with 2 feet of snow, it's all covered up, and we haven't seen any tracks in the snow. And I know they get frostbite too, so we were like, "What do we do?" So I was so tired, I didn't get the snowblower. Usually, I do paths and tracks out in the backyard for the dogs. Well, I don't have a dog anymore, so I said, "I ain't going out back. I'm just too tired." And I should have taken the snowblower and done a path for the possums, so at least they could have get out, and I didn't. So she went and actually shoveled the path. The snow was a little bit less, so she shoveled the path and put out food, and they never come out. So we think that they don't hibernate, but I don't know what it is they do. It's almost like hibernating, is that they just kind of conserve energy and they live off the fat on their body, so they don't necessarily have to go out and eat every day. So the possums have been quiet. I don't know what they've done. It's so cold again tonight that it's possible that they're just gonna just sit in. I don't know how long they can last like that, but so the possums haven't been out. Rabbits have been out though. But I get 2 feet of snow in the yard. And the possums are big, but 2 feet of snow. Not many creatures can get through that. The squirrels aren't even coming around anymore because they can't jump to it. It's just too deep. I did see coyote tracks in my neighbor's yard by the woods. They didn't come out to the street, at least not over here. But my other neighbor on this side, he told me that he saw one walking down the street, and everyone's saying that they're walking down the street. So, um, so I haven't heard him in a few nights since the snow. Actually, I haven't heard him since the snow landed, and I haven't seen as many tracks. But I know they're still around. But the possums, yeah, I'm kind of concerned about the possums. I like the possums, and they eat ticks, so I'm kind of hoping they'll survive into the spring, so they'll go and eat all the ticks in the yard. I just don't want to keep crapping in my yard. They have big poops. They have like small dog poops. They're pretty big. That's how we found out we had them. Like, what is this? I thought the coyote got in the yard, but no, it was the possum. Big boys they are. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. It is getting late. It's getting very late, and I do have to get some sleep because I have to go and do 3 games tomorrow. If I can get on the wrestling tomorrow before I go, I will. If not, maybe Sunday. That might be a fun Sunday thing. No football Sunday, so maybe we'll have some wrestling or Monday because I'm home Monday again. I don't have a job on Mondays anymore, so maybe Monday will be wrestling night or something. But we will figure it out. We'll get some matches going, and uh we will get some wrestling on here on the channel. We'll have the Maka belt, the Waffle House belt, and all that stuff. I would say, Alan, I would say it's curling. Is curling the national sport of Canada? That would be my guess. Yes, thanks for coming by. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some sleep here. Um, could be lacrosse. I thought it was curling though, but it could be lacrosse. I could be very wrong. Yeah, we have a good time. We just come on here and chat. Just kind of keep it loose and just we try to have fun here. Usually Fridays I'm not here because I am I got to get up in the morning, but I'm not tomorrow. That's why it's is 1:30. Really, is it 1:30? I did 2 hours I've been on here. Holy cow! Wow. Thanks everybody. It is lacrosse. All righty. Okay, I wasn't sure if it's curling or lacrosse, but I want to thank everybody for coming by. Yeah, I know. Give us a call. I will be on the air tomorrow. That's it. Monday night was I was a scorekeeper. That was scorekeeper at Monday nights, and that's just a job. When my wife lost her job 10 years ago, I picked up that job to get some extra money, and then I just kind of hung on to it. I didn't like I say I like the guys, I like the rink, I was comfortable there. Not anymore. Not anymore. Tomorrow I'm on the broadcast. I'll have this exact set of headphones, not this exact set, but this model. That's what I use up in New Hampshire. So I'll show up tomorrow. Put on my headset, and I'll be calling the games tomorrow. So I will be on the air tomorrow. But Monday night was a scorekeeper job. Yeah, what I liked about the scorekeeper job is I went and I put in my earbuds and I listened to the radio, and I'd either listen to Monday Night Football or sports talk, or sometimes somebody would be on YouTube and I could listen. I could listen to the radio while I did it. Most times, unless the game got out of hand. I didn't mind the job. That's why I kept it. But yeah, it would be nice to have a one day off a week. So, all right, we shall talk to you all later. Maybe tomorrow, if not Sunday. And yes, we'll get some wrestling going here because that's we need to do that. All right, we'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.